All right, today we will be doing F# Neovim config. I probably want to tighten up my Neovim config a bit more. Specifically, I want to make sure it's agnostic, meaning it will go between Windows, Mac, Linux seamlessly. And I also wanted to add in that F# functionality. So the idea here is to use Phantomos. I can't remember how to say it or pronounce it, whatever. It's the F# syntax checker, and then it also has a language server, and then also this it kind of couples with FS autocomplete. This ionide Vim it doesn't have very many commits, and it doesn't look very popular. But I think that's just the obscurity of F#. So I might work on that a little bit. But the big thing is I have pretty much run out of free requests using Sonnet 4. And that means, well, we're just going to have to code. So, yeah, well, you know, we'll just do that. How's it going, Phantom? Yeah, so that's the idea for today. Also over on YouTube, if all YouTube members, I figured out that YouTube does ads somehow. Like this, it always keeps enabling this thing, and I need to disable it because it is really, really annoying. And I don't know why they keep doing this to me. So I say, but I keep turning this off, and then they turn it back on. Damn Google. Anyways, so yeah, I made I tried to demonetize all my YouTube streams as well, so hopefully it won't show ads for any members over there. I didn't realize it was, but apparently that's a thing. God bless, YouTube streaming is such a train wreck from Google. Like, they should like have basic functionality, but they do not. Anywho, so I'm messing with that. Also, a new project that kind of just popped in my head that I can't really do on stream, but I do want to probably have private APIs for this. That's why it's not really streamable, but probably tying in. Obviously, Twitch is really easy with its IRC service to tie into chat, but I also wanted to pull in YouTube for like a combined chat. Now, I know a lot of people want to use like a public service for this, but I find YouTube chat extremely unreliable, where it starts to cap. There's like this weird artificial limit. So I want to do like a private API with YouTube's chat and try and make it not suck as bad as it does. So until then, whatever, we're going to just rely on Twitch chat. So if you're on YouTube and I don't see you, just pull up Chatterino or an IRC server and just use Twitch for the chat. But anyways, regardless, we should be good. Oh yeah. Yeah, gun show today. It's hot. It's hot here in Texas. It finally warmed up. We finally got into the 100-degree, Fahrenheit, which what is that? About 40 Celsius here in old Texas. It's actually been a pretty cool summer so far. I think it's been, in the 90s or so, but before really coming in. So it's been pretty chilly. Well, not chilly, but less hot than normal. But finally it is already then. I've already been in the yard too today. So yeah, crank up that AC. Yeah, I have two different units. One specifically dedicated to this room. This is like about an 80 square foot room, so rather small, that I built. And I put in a mini split that is designed for about 5 or 6 times this space, maybe 10 times this space. It's one of the nicest mini splits you could get, and I did it because at that time I had a 42U rack in here that was producing a ton of heat, but now I can't even. It's just like this thing cools this room too well, which it's a good problem to have here in Texas. I almost have to block the vents. Yeah, the API is going to be all private, Caleb. So that's going to be me and only me. I don't even think I'll make that public. That'll be very much there because there's going to be requests that I'll have to pay for if it gets leaked, so to speak. That's one of the downsides to AI or public projects or open source projects is you got to be pretty cognizant of your usage of API keys and how to use environmental variables for that are hidden. Because if you don't, you'll leak your API key, especially like I was looking at, God, what was it? I think it was Claude. Claude Neovim, actually. I think this one, it might have been, I don't know if it was Claude Code or just Claude.nvim, but some of these you actually would put in your API key directly in the config file. And that would be an absolute disaster because, God, I'd get a bill for thousands, $10,000s of dollars from people using my API key. So don't leak your API keys. That's not good, and something I'm always thinking about. So always put that as like an environmental variable. I don't think it was this project actually. Let me see. I thought I started. Let me see. What are my stars? No. I guess I didn't start it. So there's Claude Code, and then there's Claude Invent. Man, there's so many Claude ones. Probably Avante is the one to use. I don't know. What's anybody in chat use this stuff? Oh, watching the new Mac Utilsville, yeah. It worked out so well. Yeah, that was just me throwing that up. I am just enjoying that. I have been reading more on the F# book, trying to start from scratch so I can code without any kind of assistance. And that's been going well. Basic functions, learning more. F# has something called FSI, or F# Interactive, so you can actually test your code live and have something to interact with your code. So you can set variables, all kinds of crazy stuff, and then test it against different scenarios. So there's a lot of really neat features. As I dive deeper into F#, it's getting better. I really enjoy it. So yeah, it's been nice. Now, I think, let me see. Let me see what this one looks like on GitHub. Avante, I want to say that's probably the most popular AI integrator for Neovim. I don't know about using that though. Just seems sacrilege. Anywho, I do want to use a language client. So for this, I want to say we could add in a few projects that I saw. So let's try that first, just to start out with. Aerospace has been going well. I did have like a ghosty issue because I wanted to get more on the terminal, as that's just, I really like the terminal for so much work because it doesn't matter what OS I'm in, it's just the same experience everywhere, and that's obviously pretty powerful. All right, let's go Neovim, and we're gonna just look at this. I think in my Kickstart, if we look at lazy, I don't know if we put that anywhere. Let's go next. No path libraries. Lua path snippets, providers, that's fine. Yeah, actually, I don't think we have anything here. Maybe it's under, I don't think it's under messin', right? So right now we have Lua language server and style Lua. And I want to say the idea is to have this all integrated, so no matter which one I'm on, it'll just auto install all the plugins I need. Stylua. It's not here. Let's switch over into the plugins. I don't see that either. Nothing there. Maybe let's just go back to Init Lua maybe. So you got planetary, but I don't see anything. I might have removed this from the build. I guess it's not the end of the world to just put this out, but I feel like Lua server, client communicate with each other. Enable the following language servers. Feel free to add any LSPs you want here. They will be automatically installed. So this is where I think you'd put it in. And we got Lua language server. And I think we can just add the F# stuff here, so it just auto install everything. Yeah, POSIX compliant is what I always aim for. I don't like to put any bashisms, any shell scripts, just because you want it as universal as possible. So you could easily take the nice thing about POSIX compliance is it doesn't matter if you're in like ZSH or Bash or, well, Fish isn't POSIX compliant, so you can't say Fish. But most people are either ZSH or Bash, and POSIX compliant makes it pretty swappable between both. Yeah, still development. Like, yeah, there's still a lot to do. So after some usage, and I tried it on another PC, the thing that I'm kind of coming to a realization is we probably are going to have to do a pretty massive refactor to MacuTil. Specifically, the output relies on a terminal being open somewhere in the system. Now, most developers probably will have that open so they could run the utility without any errors or problems. But if there is no terminal anywhere in the system open and you run the utility, you're going to get all kinds of errors. Well, not errors, but it's just not going to be able to use Homebrew, which is how we install programs. So that's a problem. And I got to figure out something with that. So I don't know yet. Neovim now has a built-in plugin manager. Is it not using Lazy? Or Lazy or Mason or whatever the hell it is? There's a new plugin manager for it? God, they keep changing. Neovim changes like every single day. I don't know how people keep up with it. Neovim plugin manager. So, Lazy and Vim's what I've been using. But in 0.12, they have a plugin manager. Oh, God bless, it moves fast. Let's look at the releases. Oh, that is a very, very recent. That's not even released yet, actually. Let's look at the release notes. So, okay, nope. I don't see where they put the release notes here. Let's go back to Neovim here. Ah, okay. Yeah.
This morning I realized in horror that I was actually working on a project instead of messing with my Neovim configuration because it's become so stable, everything works. So I decided to rewrite everything.
That is great. Instead of messing with my Neovim configuration, I actually started working on a project. I feel like that applies to Linux people as well. A lot of times I find myself constantly tinkering with the Linux configurations, for better or worse. I love tinkering with the Linux configurations, but I have found that I don't really get that much work done. It's kind of weird in that regard, where I think once you find something kind of stable that just works right out of the gate and it doesn't require very much tinkering, you do get more work done probably. So yeah, I don't know.
And there's this trend kind of going around, you might have seen, with super minimal Neovim configurations. People are kind of just like getting rid of all the plugins, getting rid of Mason and Lazy and all that stuff, and just trying to have a very minimal configuration. So I thought I'd follow in their shoes just to be a sheep. What I'm going to do is actually use the nightly version of Neovim in this little tutorial, because
he's so dry. I love it.
Native package manager, which will theoretically replace something like Lazy or Mini Deps or whatever. Pathogen, if you're old enough to remember that. And basically what I want to do is have like a very minimal all Neovim native configuration. So I'm going to use Neovim 12. It might be a little buggy, but whatever. I'm also going to use like a completely native LSP setup. So if you've never like configured Neovim before, this could be a good place to start. You will probably learn a bit about the configuration. So let's jump into it, make sure I'm recording. What we want to do first is install the nightly version of Neovim. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is...
God bless. This kid is doing it from the nightly? From Git? Oh, in production? That's crazy. Okay, I'm not going to watch that whole 19-minute video. That's wild. Appreciate the share there, Hugh, though. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. Well, I'm more in the config side. I always like to config and blow things up. That's just me. I'm always like, man, let's do something. Once I actually start working on something, that's when we're like, oh, what's happening? Titus, what are you doing? Is it even possible to have an OS without a terminal? I mean, I think terminals just needed, maybe without terminal, but I don't know, just having a console is so nice. Like, the thing I love most about Linux is the TTY, and this kind of, like, all this talk kind of makes me want to go to Linux and work on a more streamlined config there too. I kind of bounce back and forth, but it's true. Mildly useful Vim tricks to forget later. Like I said, I need a sub to that guy, actually. I'm gonna go back and watch that. Sylvan Franklin. That's just awesome, dude. It's so great. So great. Mildly useful.
These are some Vim commands I wish I knew sooner. Feel free to skip around because probably...
I love he has a... like, he has this giant thing sitting in front of the camera. Bro.
There'll be some that you know. So the first one is high, medium, and low. Is the way I like to think of them. Let me turn on Keycaster real quick. Some of you have asked what thing I use for that. It's called Keycaster. I think it's on all platforms.
Keycaster.
So high, medium, and low. Capital H, M, and L. If I type capital H, it'll take me to the high point of the document, which is determined based on some kind of math. If I go to Zen mode, it's based on some kind of a line number thing. So high will take me there, M will take me there, L will take me there. I don't use these all that often because it's a little bit unpredictable in my experience, like exactly where on screen you'll end up, especially if you have like scroll off enabled to a certain amount. But if you generally know you want to go to the high point of the screen, the medium point. It's not a huge jump, but if I were to zoom
never use that binding,
then you'd see a bigger jump. So H, M, L, bigger jump. I've just zoomed in for the purposes of this tutorial, but that one's kind of interesting. The jump list is the next one, which is extremely useful. So basically,
probably like
Harpoon just keeps track of all your movements, and you can traverse it with these two commands, Control I and Control O. So let's say I open another file. I'm gonna zoom in a little more. Let's open up this lib file. And if I want to go back, instead of using telescope or like a file explorer to go back, you can just hit Control O, and that'll take you back to your previous jump, and then Control I will take you forward. So for another example, I'll go to the top of this file, then I can go Control O to go back in this traverse order.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
And then Control I to go back to the original. Super, super useful if you want to go somewhere and then go right back. I didn't know about this for the longest time, and when I figured it out, it's a huge game changer. Because you can kind of just like spam these two to go like back and forth through all your jumps and just like
I often miss my line numbers. Even with relative line numbering, I always miss it in Neovim.
Or classes or files or something. Just an awesome game-changing command. The next step is you can have visual and then go to visual line. So maybe this is an obvious one for a lot of people, but let's say I'm in this function and I want to delete the whole thing. V around brackets, and then if I want...
Do I have that in my, by the way, let's say I'm inside something and I'm like down. Let's say I go like 35 or let's go medium. Let's go to the end of the line. Let's say I entered in the line, or actually let's append. And I'm typing. Oh, yeah, I did do that command. Okay. So when I'm in insert mode, JJ takes me back. I couldn't remember if I had that hotkey or not. It's interesting. Okay, yeah, that's still there.
I want to select that whole body. I'm in visual mode. I can type capital V, and then I'll go into visual line and select the whole thing. Some people would say here, just use a tree setter text object and set it up so you can V around function. If you don't know what that is, it's this plugin that lets you do it in Neovim. Personally, I don't know if this is the correct call, but I'm a little bit against extending the default key bindings of Vim, just because when I have like a vanilla config because I'm SSHing into a server or something, I don't want to be super reliant on things like that. Like, I'm fine with plugins, but if you're changing the fundamental key behavior of Vim, I think that's like a little bit too far. Not to say there's like not huge productivity gains to be made there, but I don't really like that. Alright, next up, you can move to the two different sides of selection. So if I select this whole block, V around block, typing O will take your cursor to the ends. You can see it's jumping back and forth there. This is often useful on a bigger thing, so if I select around this, it takes me to the two visual sides of it. That's pretty nice. If you want to see,
so like O is taking you back
another one I
movement
use
to different places.
Capital
Capital O takes you back,
which takes you to the last
jump
visual
to
selection. GV. I'll
lowercase
just
O
reselect
when
it
you're
you had
highlighting
previously
the whole thing.
selected. That's kind of nice. Don't use it super often because I often forget about it and I'll just resort to simpler movements. But if you can,
I think that's the big thing with Vim. I often learn something and then I forget it, unless it's like something really, really cool, like retrieves. I use all the time in Neovim because I retrieve stuff from commands and directory listings and those types of things all the time when I use Neovim. So it's one command I use, and then substituting. Substituting and retrieving are like the things I use Vim the most for, especially using configs. What I'm really bad at is traversing directories using the built-in file browser in Vim. It's just not great. But as I really, really hate Finder, I need to get better at that. I feel like that's one of the things I'm really lacking, and one thing I like that the Mac forces me to do, because Thunar is actually a pretty pleasant file browser. So when I'm in Linux, I like it. And honestly, when I'm in Windows, the file browser, File Explorer in Windows is quite good. Very powerful. But Finder, it is just a whole different beast. And I've got to the point where I don't hate it that much. Still hate it, but it's not like absolute. I mean, yeah, it's pretty awful. But it's to a point where I can use it. Let's just say that. I hate it, but I use it. And I would much rather use like a terminal browser at this point, or terminal file explorer, just because I really, really do not like Finder, especially how it's constantly running, it's unpredictable on where it's going to show on my screen, and maybe I make workspace rules for aerospace and then simplify that a bit. But overall, Finder itself is just not, it gets in my way more often than not, and I really need to get better about using just the built-in one. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you know, I have noticed a lot of problems with uBlock Origin Lite lately. That's one thing I was I found. So when I'm using uBlock Origin Lite, I have noticed YouTube really screwing up a lot. I've pretty much had to disable uBlock Origin Lite on YouTube because it is, they have been really fiddling with things behind the scenes. Google has, so not great. And then for the rest of it, I don't know. Yeah. So I think the best thing you can do for ad block and those types of things, I think rolling your own like pie hole or something that filters things, that's probably the best. Google tried to block login from Brave yesterday. Oh no, Brave's usually pretty standard, but man, Google is really trying to make sure you're watching their ads. So I always tell people I don't care. Like, I get paid from Google, don't get me wrong, from you watching ads, but it's like fractions of a penny. So if you want to block ads, go for it. I don't care. But yes, it does make, like, having ads enabled on your browser just seems insane to me in 2025. Best ad blocker, YouTube Premium. Yeah, but it's getting so expensive. I think I pay like 25 bucks for the family premium now. It's kind of wild how expensive just premium is. And then they're talking about experimenting with ads in premium, and I'm like, all right, they do that, I immediately cancel. There's just no way. That's the only thing I use it for, is ad block, or just not have ads ever. And as soon as you start adding ads into premium services, you don't deserve any money from anybody, and you deserve all the bad things that's going to happen to you as a greedy ass company. That blows my mind. I think of the service Hulu, and Hulu does that crap. I'm like, why do people pay for this terrible service? You're paying to watch ads? That's just, what is this, 1990s with cable television, and that's all you have? I can't. I absolutely can't. At that point, just pirate everything. You still believe Thorium's the fastest browser? I always had good experiences with Thorium. I know it's not the most secure browser because they're usually a couple revisions behind, and it's still, I think, one developer, Alex. But I still think it's a good browser. Yeah, YouTube Music's Spotify's better, of course. But if YouTube Music's free with premium, you end up using it. So it's just like this weird in between, and then eventually we're gonna get rid of it. I mean, Spotify, though, you could block and get like pretty much premium for free with what is it, SpotTube or whatever. They got blocked and completely killed. So yeah. Prime Video has ads unless you pay extra. Yeah, which is wild. That just makes me go, nah. Hey, Dan, how's it going? So, yeah. All right, let's see. What else we got here? I think I want to try. I don't necessarily want to, like when we look at Lua, like right here for NVIM LSP config, this is the main LSP configuration. I kind of want to add a configuration for NVIM LSP outside of this. So like when you're in here, but my one reservation about Neovim is I don't want to sit here and mess around with it forever and ever and ever. Although, I've updated it recently, and it's been pretty nice and stable since my last update. But it sounds like in .12, it's going to break it again. I'm like, damn it. Well, maybe not. Probably lazy and Vim will work. Anyways. Alright, for the language servers, we could add in... Is there like a... I want to say we saw a spot where we could add in specific options here under the config. Yeah, I could watch the rest of that here. One thing is I don't want to adopt that yet. I'll wait for the actual official release before going in on that, mainly because like most people have like one dev environment and I have probably 5 depending on the system I'm at. So I need it kind of universally available. So I'm going to be using older Neovim on a lot of different systems. Like I'll even set up my Neovim on like remote servers so I can do configuration easy. And those servers typically might be rolling Debian, which shit, that might be Neovim .6 or 7.7. And that's making it compatible with that is kind of a chore. So I typically roll way, way behind the bleeding edge with my config. Okay. What changes have we made here? Init and plugins in it. I wonder what I added. Let's check. Probably I ended up doing GIMP the other day too. I don't know what it is, but I just can never get off of GIMP anymore. I don't know why. I just all my workflows centered around GIMP, and that's just where I make my thumbnails. I've pretty much resigned to that fact. Even though I paid for like Affinity Photo, I still like the workflow better in GIMP. It's weird. All right. This is going to be a train wreck of a stream. I forgot to mention, preface this. I got like 4 hours of sleep last night. I don't know why I couldn't sleep. Old person problems. Not that old, but still. Let me see. What the hell am I doing? So we got that. Let's see what we're doing with Neovim. Let's add, and we're gonna add Neovim. I'm kind of like curious what I added or changed, because I was like, I don't think I've changed anything, have I? Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, we could discard those changes. File browser for Telescope is changed. Project Invim. I think I streamlined my plugins a little bit. This is fine though. And then I also added inide, which is F#, which is fine. Okay, plugins. Let's go ahead and make that commit. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm using Chrome of all things. So like Chrome, I hate Chrome, but it's like a necessary evil in my opinion. So a lot of times I end up using a couple different things on that. So I like kind of seeing the problems other people have, and Chrome usually gives me the most universal experience. That's why I use it. Not a fan, use Brave, use anything else. It's probably going to be a better experience. But for actually experience what most the internet experiences, that's kind of where I go. Mic volume is fine. Oh, okay. Yeah. If it's warm or hot, I can't sleep. I try to keep it cold when I sleep. Like my brain just wouldn't shut off last night. How is the Mac experience so far? Not bad. I would say I really like the thing I think Mac does well is it's pretty easy to get a decent enough experience out of the box, and you have so much portability with the MacBooks. With the battery life, universal with like a docking station, which I set up here in the studio, it's been good. I would say I don't really like some of the nuances of it, but I think it's just because I'm so used to Linux, and I've changed most of that to match a good enough workflow, close to my Linux workflow, that I don't hate life, and I don't think I can ever get it perfect, and I don't feel like tinkering too much more than I've gotten done with it. Right now, most people probably don't know I'm on Mac. They probably look at this setup, except for the stupid dots up at the top. That's always a dead giveaway. But for the most part, if I'm in like Neovim or something like that, most people won't really know. And this in the background actually is pretty bad. Let's clear that out, huh? So people don't see that. Let's see. Yeah. If I just highlight all, let's clear that. And actually check that. And I could probably hide these. These are just the network drives, or actually I think there's an option for that. If I wanted to try and fool people a little bit, we could go a little bit harder with the ricing, but I feel like it's in a pretty good spot. But overall, yeah, it's not bad. I think from like a mobile developer standpoint, I see why a lot of people use MacBooks, but I still like the Linux workstation experience a lot better. So I guess it just depends on you. I see the use case for it, and I'm not like I regret doing this. I think it's really nice, especially when I'm going into like my day job or something like that. Taking this in is a lot better because then I kind of have a lot more portability. Where my Linux laptop I was using was nice, but battery life wasn't great, and there's always just like some nuances. I feel like you make some sacrifices with the bleeding edge and other things with Linux laptops where it's just not a great experience. It's not it can be a good experience, but it's not to the level of like a MacBook from a mobile dev standpoint. At least not from what I've seen. I always run into something. Why are you not using your Starship configuration in your terminal? Patrick, this is a good question. Am I not? I think this is ZSH. And I really hate ZSH. I just cannot get comfortable in it. I don't know why. I don't. But what's the best method for installing Bash? Now, you could homebrew install Bash, but I want like an up-to-date Bash on Mac. Like, how common is it to switch to Bash on Mac? So I'm not a big fan of ZSH. I'm not. Yeah, but the version of Bash is like ancient. It's like before the license change. That's the Bash that's included with Apple. So yes, you do need a recent version of Bash. ZSH is superior to Bash in several. Man, a lot of people have drank the Kool-Aid here. Maybe I didn't drink enough Kool-Aid. I don't know. What is that? What's chat think about ZSH versus Bash? I just don't like it. Bingo, Stella. You give me a bottle. I'm down for that. Yeah, I don't think I'm using Oh My ZSH. I think I am using Starship though. It requires a lot of configuration. Yeah, I guess the same thing. Yeah, trying out Mac OS. We'll see how it goes. It's been all right. I don't have like a whole lot of complaints. I think the biggest thing I hate about Mac, if I had to pick one thing that I haven't solved yet, like most of the workflow using Aerospace and kind of getting most of my tiling window manager feel in Mac is pretty much accomplished. The one thing I just use a lot that Mac doesn't have a great solution for, I've just seen like hobbyist style solutions. Virtualization is awful. And yeah, I know about UTM. Yeah, I know about parallels. I know about these other solutions that just suck. Let's just call a spade a spade. They're not great. And I think that's because of the ARM architecture on Mac. Virtualization is very lacking. Coming from Linux with like QEMU, Virt Manager, and all the fixins, man, that's the biggest thing I miss. It's the one thing I'm just like, yeesh. It's the one sticking spot I think I've had where I was just like, I can't like main Mac because of the virtualization experience is not great. There's a couple different solutions. There's containers. There's other things to get around this. You could always, like, how I would get around it is probably like SSHing into another server and then doing that, or just using a remote box. Would be fine. That would be sufficient. But it kind of keeps it from being like the one OS to just stick in. Yeah, I don't know how to get a current other than doing a homebrew. That's my thought too, Bingo. The OS X KVM Ultimate ended up, where were we on that? Let me look. It's a good question. Is it on? Oh, crap. That was on. Well, 1 second. We'll power that back on real fast. I had it on for some odd reason. It wasn't coming up for me, so such is life. Well, we just shut it down. The whole purpose of leaving it on was so I could just get right back in. And here we are. I also want to test my Neovim config, make sure all these updates didn't mess with anything. Oh, life's good, Tails. Hope you're doing well. Thoughts on Void Linux? Void Linux is great. We need more System D alternatives, and I always like having one. Now, I haven't personally used Void, but I definitely encourage people to try it out. Ugh, ISP routers, man. Whenever I see an ISP router, I just toss it in bridge mode, bypass it, and put it in an actual real router. Using something other than that is just, I can't get behind it. I think I'm done with KDE, guys. KDE has been okay, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it anymore. It's been okay. I set KDE up like a window manager. It's been all right. I haven't loved it though. And where is SDDM in this damn config? They always move shit around. It's the one thing it's great at. Let's go behavior. I wonder, have we tried UWSM Wayland managed? Let's give it a whirl. Yeah. Let's try that. I can't remember what did we set that up? Let's double check our config, because I do not recall what our config was for that. Oh lordy, it's been a minute. Yeah, let's see, what do we have? Okay, we're fine. Ultimate browser here. Let's look at USWM, Hyperland, Wiki. Let's go. No. Okay, so for Arch, UWSM. Let's see if that's actually installed. UWSM help. Universal Wayland Session Manager. I don't think we ever really used this. Concept is to use systemd and Linux prefix application startup commands with UWSM-app. It also supports launching desktop entities. Okay. Let's update that. And then we also need to check the Wayland session manager. I'm sorry, we're going completely on a tangent, you know, as it happens. Go share. I want to say Wayland sessions. Yeah, Wayland sessions. Let's look at this. What? So this does the start of Hyperland under UWSM. So that tells me that's going, so we don't need to wrap it like this. Since we're using a login manager anyways, that's getting done. Let's just double check to make sure both of these are installed. Yeah, we're good. Those are fine. We already have this installed with SDDM. And then inside, we need to modify all of our application launches to be UWSM-app. What the hell is? Let's give it a whirl. Let's give it a whirl. What was I doing? Newer than swap file. Delete it. Start from scratch because I have no idea what I was doing with that. All right, so you have system CTL user start hyper poll agent. That's fine. Quick shell should be --app. Daemon. That's fine. All right, there's that. And then we just need our hotkeys, right? So looking at the hotkeys, execute terminal. And if we look, it should be everything prefaced with UWSM. And we'll do that. Just changing that around. So we'll just put that right there. File manager. I don't know how necessary this is necessarily, but probably couldn't hurt. Maybe. Do I really want that managed by that? I don't know. These are fine, but for the like screenshot tools and stuff, this is just open for just a hair and then it's closed. Do I really want that managed by the manager? Oh hell, let's just add it and always remove it. You can look at this conversation here for UWSM. All right, let's see what you got. Oh gosh, this layout's awful. Let's just go to recommended. Just saw your Google video about graphene a couple years ago. We get an update. You still using graphene, Google products, etc.? Yeah, most things I use a Google Pixel for. Sometimes I switch to iPhone depending on what is necessary. I bounce back and forth really. Pixel and iPhone is typically what I gotta bounce before these days. The two big phones. Mainly just for development purposes. It's just easier doing that. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do graphene. I still think graphene's one of the best. Now that I think about it, God, I gave them a ton of money. I gave them like part of the Bitcoin. That was a big donation, especially adjusted for today's price of Bitcoin. Whew. But I no regrets. It's a great project. Slight regret. Wish I just sent him cash. Oh well. You still have your Chromebook. I gave it to my daughter. The Chromebook. I did see that Chrome OS is pretty much getting sunset in flavor for Android, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
Oh man, how's it going, Tech Zero? Coding for Mac OS. Oh yeah, traitor. I love it. I love it. Still love my Linux though. I gotta say. When it comes to gaming too, oh my gosh, I love older games, and Linux is becoming the premier operating system for old gaming. because most AAA titles are just cash grabs, soulless games that are developed now. And as I play older games, like 10 plus, 15 plus years old, man, Linux just such a better experience all the way around compared to anything that Windows releases today. That's crazy because all these games were made for Windows 15 years ago and they play better in Linux. I think I have a mental disorder where I like to play old MMO games. I don't know why I'm like this. We all have faults. It's one of my biggest faults. So I think I loaded up like Lord of the Rings Online, and it played like absolute dog water in Windows. Like awful. Even though they just updated the whole client, servers, everything to 64-bit, it still plays really, really jank. Tons of problems in Windows 11. So then I load up Linux. Man, not only does it load faster, everything just works better. Faster load times, less lag, less rubber banding. I don't understand how it's that bad in Windows, yet that good. Like we're talking a substantial, like 50 to 100% increased performance comparatively to Windows 11 counterpart for an 18-year-old game. That's insane. Absolutely insane. So, like, if you like just playing older games, you're going to have a better experience in Linux than you will in Windows. That's wild. I never thought I'd say that. Yeah, like in my head, I think it's a better experience for sticking with Windows and stock Android. Yeah, I think just getting a Google Pixel. I highly recommend doing the debloat. So I don't like graphene I lose so much quality of life. Like I'm integrated into Google, as most people are, obviously. Yeah, I'm still using 3CX for calling. I think we actually earlier in the stream you saw someone call me through 3CX. And yeah, when I look at what I like to do, I made a post about this in a video a while back. Debloat Android. I think. Nope, that's old. I think it was a universal debloat. Yeah. So this is last year. Oh, damn, time flies. Anyways, universal debloater is what or universal next gen debloater is what I'm using. Where's my link? Because it was a fork. Come on, Chris. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was like, come on, give me the GitHub. Nobody wants to read your article. This is what I've been using, and it's great. So what I like to do is a stock Google experience, not like a custom ROM or anything. So I just do a stock thing. Then I go ahead and enable developer tools, ADB. Then I get into ADB. I strip out all this. My battery life then is double or triple what the stock experience is. That's how much back and forth and talking that's going on between Google apps and Lord knows what. So you strip out most of that. I leave a couple Google apps such as YouTube and I think there's one or two more like Google Maps, Android Auto, and a few others that leave that functionality, but I usually strip out somewhere upwards of about 30 to 40 Google apps from the stock experience and use this tool to do so. And it's just a great experience. So shout out to the UAD project. The Android debloat I think is absolutely amazing. Not only does it decrease like the back and forth talk, but this also decreases the attack surface from people hacking phones. So a lot of these tools that Google uses to, whether spying or just using you for an advertiser portfolio, whatever it is, a lot of these things, as you remove, all they're doing is ADB remove. It really does give you a better experience. Now, for the iPhone counterpart, Apple's actually done hats off where Apple actually has a W here, is you can remove most of the Apple crap now. Like, I remember doing Apple 5 years ago, and I just couldn't. You were stuck on everything Apple. everything, like the messaging app, everything had to be Apple. Now
Yeah, well,
they're forced to allow you to uninstall it, and it's so much better. Razzle, thanks for the sub, man. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, but I didn't make this. This is an independent project. This is just me giving a shout out to these people that have. This is actually a fork of the original Universal Android deboter. This is the next generation, but it's kind of, they've carried on the torch, and it has a very active, like 2 days ago was the last commit, and they keep up with it. So they are amazing. Shout out to their team. I don't have anything to do with it. All I did was I saw this cool project, and I was like, this is game changing, and I've used it extensively for the past year now, year and a half, and I highly recommend it. If you're an Android user and you're not using some kind of debloat, what are you doing with your life? That's like using stock Windows. You're crazy. You're absolutely bonkers if that's where you go. Yeah. Of course, it's Rust. All right, well, let's fire this guy up. I kind of want to try this. Was there anything else I needed to modify to do the session manager in Wayland? I wanted to give this a whirl. I don't see anything. Everything else looks pretty straightforward. I do want to kind of clean up this file a little bit. But, oops. Let's kill this. Let's log out. Let's go back to old Wayland. All right, so we're gonna log out. Session. Log out. We're gonna try to do Hyperland again. Opinion of Graphene OS? I think it's good. If you can get away from all Google, highly recommend. So, I still think the magic sauce will be for most of like, if you truly care about independence, privacy, security. I hate talking about the subject just because most people in the privacy security realm are kind of idiots. Especially, like, I won't ever make YouTube videos about this stuff just because it just attracts a certain kind of moron that I just can't deal with. They're insane. Just absolutely insane. The couple videos I've done about privacy and security and that whole genre is just so badly misunderstood, and there's such a lack of knowledge that I just can't. I just can't. Let's go F3. There we go. I don't know what's going on here. Let's reboot. Let's go. But I say all that to be like, if you really care about it, you need to get rid of your damn smartphone. Like, when you look at 5G and those types of things, if you care about privacy security, you're going to be tracked regardless. Even if, let's say, you get a fully blown open source Linux locked down phone, your ISP is going to spy on you. It's going to give out so much information. If you're not familiar with how 5G works, it can target you within, I think, 3 meters. So let's say you pay for your phone, your name's registered to your phone number, you load that up into your phone, well, they got you. Boom, checkmate. You can obfuscate some of that with like VPNs and such when it comes to like internet traffic a little bit, but man, the game is lost. It just is. It's not worth it, essentially, is what I'm saying. Just don't use the smartphone. That's the solution. And preferably something that just does 4G and not 5G. Even then, though, gotta watch out. There's Bluetooth sharing, there's Wi-Fi sharing, there's all kinds of ways where it can just completely go haywire on you. This is different. Does this work? No. Okay. What about just going into Hyperland? Okay. Alrighty then. Well, DWM always works. Yeah. It's an oldie but a goodie. DWM, gotta say, it just works. Like, I saw something the other day. It was funny. I was trolling Brody on Twitter. Brody was like, 75% of users are now Hyperland. Or not Hyperland, but Wayland based. And he was responding, someone was, replying back to him and like, yeah, that's not right. The statistics are wrong, blah, blah, blah. Kind of getting a bit upset over the fact that a lot of people are using Wayland now. And Wayland still got some jank. Let's be real. Wayland is not nearly as stable as X11. Like, just X11 is just so much more stable in almost just in general. I think we have proven that time and time again. That or Wayland teams just trolling me constantly. I don't know. Either way, I say this to go, I replied back to Brody, and I was like, yeah, but 93.7% of happy Linux desktop users just use X11. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Xorg does just work, but you do have screen tearing. A lot of people have screen tearing with Xorg. I don't necessarily have it. At least I don't notice it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I've kind of given up on Wayland a lot of times. Anytime I try and use it, it just kind of breaks. It's just not very good. Okay, but first, we're going to go completely out of left field here. I want to try something a little bit brain dead today. What about... Oh, before we do that, we do need to test Neovim before we move. 1 second. Because that was the one thing I came in here for. Let's go Neovim. Get pull. Let's go invim. What's lazy look like? Let's update. Breaking changes. Do we have anything? I don't know. I guess let's clean it. I still don't understand how the hell. Does that work? Maybe. Let's check health. I think it's fine. We're gonna try a rice though. I've been wanting to try this rice for a minute now. Okay. I think that's fine. Yeah, we're not getting any errors, so. Alright, so Neovim's pretty universal. Everything looks good with any of the changes I made because I had to make some for Windows. I did a commit for Windows for fixing some lazy NVim config. I think the Kickstart had some issues with Windows systems. And then on my Mac, I think some of the formatting in the plugins in it needed some changes to not error as well. So it looks like all those did work, and I'm not getting any more errors across the board. There's Debian 13 stable coming on the 9th of Aug. Your thoughts? I love Debian. Still to this day. I don't use Debian very much these days. For some odd reason, Rust became, or not Rust, but Arch became super stable. 450 days of Arch, and everything works really well. And everything's super new and up to date, bleeding edge like I like it. So to me, I'm like, why would you use anything but Arch? I don't know. You tell me. Because, I don't know. Anyways, I wanted to try DHH's config. Let's give it a whirl. Now, obviously, this is probably going to break very, very much broken, probably, because I have a bunch of custom crap with my system. So, no knock against DHH if this doesn't work. If it does work, holy shit, that'd be insane, because I have all kinds of crap on my system. Let's see what happens. I want to run this script, and let's go. Abs, what's happening? YouTube in the house. Sometimes I miss YouTube chat, by the way, Abs, so if I do miss your chat, we do have IRC servers you could plug into. Usually I just use Twitch with like Chatterino, but YouTube's video is always better than Twitch's, so just a heads up. But before you do, I want you to set WSM for UWSM. Really helpful. All right, Hugh, we need to do that. I agree. Let's see. Oh, God. Logged out. 1 second. All right, let's go. All right. Come on, man. All right. Okay. Proceed. I'm getting there. 1 second. All right, let's see what you got. So I want you to set this Hyperland to WSM migration guide. How to migrate. I should read this. All right. All right, session management. Apparently it manages crap better. So like, let's say you have a whole bunch of apps open and then you go shut down, it'll actually gracefully shut down the apps. That's the whole point of doing Universal Wayland Session Manager, or UWSM. Totally get it. That's why we're doing this. That's the number one reason. Now, do I need to do this? Absolutely not. I don't care. I close all my apps before I power off every time, because I have some weird version of obsessive compulsive disorder. OCD just is on steroids with me. I close apps even though I shouldn't close apps. That's why probably Mac is such a weird experience for me, because Mac people just don't close apps ever for months. And that is so foreign to me. It's so weird. I'm like, I still have problems with that. Anyway, migration steps. Steps with your file tree. Install did that. Configure UWSM to start Hyperland. From TTY, recommended for direct login, just doing a dot profile. We just did this, which is fine. Manage environmental variables. Okay. Config UWSM env for general, and then you have USV env Hyperland. Okay. Review your core environments.conf. Any env equals key value entries that are setting the generic environmental variables, like, oh, that's why. Okay. This is what we're missing. Well then, we've figured it out. All right. If we look at Hyperland config, you'll notice env, we have some environmental variables. G2K2 files, and then X cursor and hyper cursor. Now I think those are hyperland. Let's look again. All right. Titus, I'm worried you're devolving because of your Mac experience. Tank top today? Yes, it's hot as shit here in Texas, so tank top. And devolving from Mac, I just kind of wanted something for mobility, and the MacBooks are great for portability. And I pretty much set it up how I use my Linux boxes. So, it's fine. Now, if I start just using a mouse all the time for everything, and then I start needing 20-point pixel rounded edges and ridiculous like opacity on my buttons, we can have another chat about how I'm devolving. But until that time, there shall be no gaps. There shall be no beveled corners on my windows. We shall be such as you see here. Elite. Unlike those peasants that only use Mac. Although, Mac has been a pretty good experience. Okay. Hypercursor theme should be in env environment. I think almost all this should probably just go into config uwsm env. Okay. I was only half joking. I know. I'm always joking, so that's where I'm like, Yeah. Mac awesome with Mac. Yeah, I'm enjoying making the Mac util too. Like, God, I really need to. A lot of people don't understand my humor. I am a very dry, sarcastic, and definitely probably on the autistic spectrum. Not very, I don't have very much in the kid gloves when I speak. So a lot of times I say things that can be somewhat offensive. And if you just say, hey, Titus, that's offensive as hell, I'll be like, my bad. No worries. We'll change that. But don't take it as me being overly, I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. Because I say that because I got a comment today, and I put the description of Fix Finder as fixing Finder for people without mental disorders. And I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, it was kind of funny, but that is a little offensive to many Mac users. So my bad. No shots fired. I didn't intend to be that guy. I was just vibing, I was just like, let's go, blah, blah, blah. I was writing the script out, and I was like, yeah, I got everything. Okay, great. I think I got it fixed to where it should work pretty well without, like, all those stupid animations and all the stuff I complained about. And then that's just what was right in my head, just some right from my brain directly onto the page. And then I didn't take 2-second thoughts about it, and I was just moving on to the next thing. So I'll change it. Like, before it hits, like, any kind of adoption or anything like that, it'll be like legit. It'll be like a normal application would be. That was just a placeholder. All tech people are a little autistic. Agreed. Yeah, it's just how we are. I do find like, I'm blessed with, having a family, my wife, my kids, because without them, I try and think of what if I had to like envision what I would be like, because I've been married for almost 20 years and have some kids, and my son's 21, about to be 22, and shit, I would be so, like, my OCD would be off the charts. I don't think I could even talk to people. I definitely wouldn't have a YouTube channel, because I really, even today, I don't like being around a lot of people. I just don't. It's just not my jam. Like, people are like, you're gonna go to this conference? I went to one conference in no, I've gone to 2 conferences in my entire YouTube 7-year career. One was Linux Fest in like 2020. I think it was 2019 actually. It was pre-COVID. And then LTX in 2023. That's it. Those are the only conferences I've ever been to. And at LTX, I was just like, bro, there is too many people here. And this is just too much. I just can't. So I try to I almost was like hiding or in like the creator closet, essentially. Like he had kind of like tucked away behind the curtain. So a lot of times I'd hide back there and I'd just be like, and I'd have to go to my hotel just to be like cool down from just being around so many people. I'm just not great with people. I'm a terrible manager. Oh my God. I mean, I can manage people just fine, but I'm not gracious in my compliments. I wish I could compliment people probably better. I'm just better at picking out what people are doing wrong, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And to certain personalities, that's okay. But I wish I would be better at complimenting people I work with. I don't do a great job. I try to make an effort for it, but often, a lot of times, I'm just like, hey, this should have been done better. This right here, that's no bueno. That just sucks. Like, what were you doing? Like, come on. Stop smoking the crack. You got to put that down. I mean, we all have our bad days. Like me, when I wake up and I'm drinking coffee in the morning, just don't have me do anything before noon. That's just a general principle. I think at the start of the stream, it was before noon. Point in case. Same thing with that. A lot of times that's how I end up giving feedback. Which for some people, that's okay. And a lot of people, that can be good for them. But most normal people take offense to that method of feedback of, hey, this was bad. Here's what you should have done. Do better next time. So, anyways, let's fix these environmental variables instead of yapping. God bless, I just yap all day long. All I do. Should be good. UWSM. Oh, UWSM's not even there. UWSM. Universal Wayland Session Manager. Oh, well, that's probably why it's crashing, huh? What was the environment? Just env. Simple enough. Then these are exports. Okay. All right, let's put those in. Let's just do a global substitute. env equals export. All right. That should be good. Save that out. Anything else? Auto starting applications. Crucial change. Adding. We already did that. Adjust hyper idle and hyper lock. Do we use those? I don't think we do. Do we? Nah, I don't use hyper paper. I hated it. No, hyper idle and hyper lock would be in the hyper folder, and all we have is the hyperland conf for there. A file tree consideration migration, review hyper paper, blah blah blah. Install, create, review, update session exit command. Okay, so then hyperctl dispatch exit should be UWSM stop. Okay, UWSM stop's pretty straightforward. So let's go over here. You can see all we have is hyperland and hyperctl. Oh, do we not? Huh. What's exit? Mod key M, exit. Huh. Stop. Okay. So how I envision this, instead of that, we would do UWSM stop. I feel like that's probably the methodology that they want. Okay. That's fine. I kind of want to remove some of the garbage from this, but it should be fine. It's kind of cool. You can share your entire chat. Look at this. He shared his whole chat. That's kind of neat. I like it. You're very good at yapping. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go here. So just quit. Right? So then we just quit. Kick us back to the login. And then we just choose Hyperland UWSM managed and log in. Yeah, shit still didn't work. I guess let's restart. Lucas, thanks for the bits, man. Good day. Yeah, LLMs are really good for brainstorming. I love it for ideas. I also like it for different methods. Like, I love asking an LLM, give me all the different methods for accomplishing this task, or different ways to go about doing this. And it'll be like, here's 3 different methods. And then it kind of goes through, analyzes them, and goes, well, I'd probably recommend this one. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, I want to use this way instead. And it's really nice for that. Hyperland logs. Oh, you know what it probably is? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I set some environmental variables for NVIDIA in... I think I set them in the system or ETC environment variable, which will probably not be fun for that. So if we come on over into TTY. Okay. So in TTY, let's take a peek. Take an old gander. Oh, Wolf Security. Most secure in the world, man. I tell you. Nobody's hacking me. I got the wolf on my side. Shout out Hewlett Packard. Yeah. Oh, actually, let's go journal CTL. What do we have? Hyperpole kit. How are we launching a hyperpole kit? I see an error there. GPPG agent. It's probably also in relation to hyperpole kit. Anything else? Notification, notification. Hyperpole kit. I think it's actually hyperpole kit that's actually causing the errors. Let's go back further. I should have done priority 3. Alright, fine. I can't remember. I think it's just dash dash priority 3. Yeah. Let's go journal, CTL boot, priority 3. Okay. This is everything since boot. We have my USB PCI driver not working. Okay. So PCS PKR is already registering aborted. GPG problems. Hyperpole kit, keyring. It's all hyperpole kit and GPG. So I think we're doing something wrong with hyperpole kit is the problem. Well, cool. Let's go into here. Let's go hyperpole kit. Okay. So if we use UWSM, so we didn't wrap this. Do we need to wrap this? Apparently we do. Right? Just feels wrong to wrap a system CTL. Yeah. I think it's fine. Probably another poll kit service. Agreed, forgotten. Yeah, because this doesn't make any sense to me. I think there's another poll kit service. Let's go yay q grep poll kit. Shit, we got all the poll kits installed. Do you think it's using like the KDE agent poll kit? I think it is. Oh god, let's nuke the world. We're about to pull a Linus. Let's go. It's been a while since I nuked my install. Let's roll. Here we go. Hold on to your butts all. How many packages? I'm gonna say 500. I don't think we need any of that. I honestly thought it would be more. Yes. You're saying no, but what you mean is yes. Who needs a display manager? Overrated. You want it? Yes. Let's go! Alright. Goodbye, poll kits. Didn't like you anyway. Although I did kind of want font emoji there. What else we got? Maybe What are we gonna use for display or login manager? Do we still have Greet D? Oh, hot damn. We'll just use Greet D. Let's go Invim. Huh. What are we doing here? Oh, God. Command. What's that Hyperland one? What was that? Huh. That's interesting. Well, we can't really look up anything, so let's just wing it. If I was just gonna launch this, I would launch it with the command, not start X, because I would just launch DWM. I would launch it UWSM start Hyperland. That's not it. All right, chat. What should I type here? Somebody Google it. Somebody get on Hyperland Wiki. Instead use sudo -e. Ah, okay, yeah. Well, we are on the TTY. There's no looking this up. Oh, okay. UWSM start -- Thank you, Forgotten Magnet Snake. You are the VIP of the day. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Hyperland... Oh, it could be launched with lowercase too. Oh man, my son is out there doing some yard work. Hell yeah, those 2 big old bags. He is getting it. I'm so proud of him. All right, sitting here typing on Twitch while he's doing yard work. It feels good. Oh God. All right. Well, I think we got it. I think we're just gonna roll with that, guys and gal. Let's go. Well, hot damn. I didn't actually think that would work. Some of the theming might be a little questionable, but that's okay. Thanks, Vax. Appreciate you, brother. Welcome to KGPG Assistant. All right. Yeah, sure, just create it for me. Yep. Yeah, just generate a new key. Start it up. Finish. All right. What's that? Hayden Collins. I don't know who that is. Sure, it's nothing important. Wired connection to... Huh. Weird. All right. Seems okay. We don't need any poll kit. I don't think. Let's see. Let's try and launch Gparted. Nice. Poll kit. Working like a champ. Now, I thought that was going to break and we were going to get some fun fixing on the stream, but alas, You do not get that, you do not get that privilege today. Well, I shouldn't say today. You don't get that privilege yet. It's not if I'm going to break my system. It's just a when am I going to break my system. And that's fine. Damn. I like it. All right, cool. All right, you guys are not happy with the flashbang. Let's use the old Linux utility that no one really uses anymore, but me, I still use it. I created something for this under system setup, I want to say. I think it was global theme. I forget what we were doing. This screwed up something. It screwed up KDE. So that fixes global theme. So what this did, if you're not familiar with global theme, this installs 3 packages. It's a Qt6 CT, Qt5 CT, which is configuration tool. That's what CT stands for. And Qt5 and 6 are some very common frameworks that most graphic user interfaces use in Linux. And that's what that is. Qt5 CT, configuration tool, and then Qt6, and Kvantum. Now, besides having an actually arguably probably one of the best named Linux apps ever, Kvantum looks awful, but it does a pretty good job of like a universal theme that's also good. Unless you use like GNOME or KDE or some other desktop environment, it's going to probably screw everything else up. So you want to kind of uninstall all these configuration tools, their config files, and Kvantum if you ever do go back to a desktop environment. I learned that like 3 weeks ago on a stream. Yeah. Qt is so much better than GTK. My God, GTK apps are such a mess. Agreed, but GTK arguably looks better than Qt. That's the one downside. So, that's what we got. So that pretty much fixes it. What else were we doing? Oh, God bless. Feels good. So we got our universal Wayland session manager working. We got that. Oh, that feels good, actually. I think I'm going to roll with this for a minute. Anything else we can think of, chat? What do we got? Yeah, so like what I use Linux utility most for is usually like when I'm coding something up or I'm doing something, I'm like, I don't ever want to do this again. I like to make like a bash script, or actually a shell script that's POSIX compliant, so you can use it on ZSH too for you weird ZSH users out there. And that way I don't have to set it up again. I can just load it and go, oh man, I spent 2 hours fixing the stupid global theme so when things try to elevate or poll kit happens, it doesn't mess everything up. Speaking of which, did that fix or do we need to reboot? I think we got to reboot. So let's give this actually a reboot and see what happens. No, yeah, we never did finish virtualizing Mac OS. We still need to tackle that project. Yeah, let's look at the reboot. Now, how I think this will play out is it'll auto log in Universal Wayland Session Manager, and it will toss me on my desktop without doing anything. In a perfect world. As far as the theming goes, I think we might need to mess around with Kvantum a little bit too, but I could be wrong. Titus, what does the title imply? Oh, we were working earlier. I'm sorry, I never updated my title. Phoenix. We were working on updating my Neovim so we could do F# universally. So I really want to get into doing more F#, but directly in Neovim with just a language server. So we installed Fatimus for the formatting. I always screw up that name. It's probably some foreign name that I'm just butchering. I apologize. We installed FS LangServe or language server. Or no, it's FS autocomplete. And then also Ionite. I don't remember. Anyways. And the current value is hyperland. This might cause issues unless it's intentional. I think we got to fix that too. All right, cool. Anywho, as you see, this looks good. And if we elevate, let's say we elevate, do a G-parted, you'll also notice now it fixed this. So very cool all around. That's awesome. Let's switch our... Yeah, I like this one. It's nice. Why use F#? I really enjoy the language. It's fun. I suck at it. I can do like a hello world. Vim, LSP enable, Phantomos is all you really need. Oh, really? Phoenix, do you do F#? Were you the one that's been harping me to try F#? Because I absolutely love it. I love you now, if that's the case. If you were the original OG person saying use F#. So, what I've been trying to do... do we have .NET installed? We do not. Let's go SDK.net. We're gonna need that. So let's go GitHub. Like just to show like a hello world using F#. Why I like it, right? Let's go hello world. Hello world. So instead of using Visual Studio like many other dirty Microsoft projects that require that gross, nasty Visual Studio Community Edition that should just die to the irrelevance of history. I don't like Visual Studio Community Edition, if you couldn't tell. And VS Code, sometimes we kind of want to get away from it because I feel like I'm leaning too much on the autocomplete. So I'm like, let's do some Neovim. So let's do it all CLI. Show a hello world from scratch using F#. So what this should look like is a .NET new console app, lang F#. Well, 1 second. Let's go to hell. All right, let's try that again. .NET not found. What? What? Did I miss something? Okay, so we got .NET SDK. I just need the SDK. Oh, I need the runtime. My bad. Oopsies. Okay, now. Ah, come on. Okay, now we got that. Did the SDK not install? I forgot to look. Oh, it didn't install. I wasn't paying attention. Let's install the SDK as well. Yeah, let's get both. Couldn't hurt. All right. Let's go back to hell. All right. Now, .NET, new, console, lang, F#. Boom. .NET, run. Hello, world from F sharp, we have now created a program. Pretty damn slick. Ah, I love it. Absolutely love it. So if we go into here, let's say we want to go to program. Now we could like add stuff to it. So let's let name equals Titus and let date equals system date now. Boom. And then let's change this function, this print function, to be able to incorporate variables. Hello from F sharp Titus at date. Boom. .NET run. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about F sharp, but that's fucking cool. That is just so neat. I absolutely love it. I don't know why I love it, but I love it. And that's all I have to say. Yeah. So that's why I F sharp. It speaks to me. It feels good. The syntax like makes sense in my brain where I'm like, hey, I'm not typing a bunch of stupid machine code like curly brackets and semicolons all over the damn place. And I'm not like sitting there going like, oh, let's do a pointer with an underscore space dash, the greater than sign, and then oh god, we got that's going somewhere. It's awful. I just hate so many like nuances of other languages where F sharp so far I haven't really run into a nuance. I'm like, well, that's stupid. It's spiffy. It's cool. It's not OOP. It's functional. It's functional programming. It's not object oriented. Oh, you're talking about Rust. Okay, yeah. I got you. What about VBNet? I've never been a big fan of VBNet. I've used it just briefly, but not. I mean, a lot of people use VBNet. Don't get me wrong; it's all over the place. I didn't enjoy it like that right there. What I just did was enjoyable. It was fun. It was like that's cool. That's neat. All right, let's add some libraries. Let's do this. And then when I look at the syntax that's created from that, I'm like, that's cool. I like it. And I'm not competent. I can do a hello world. I can do a couple variables. I can make a function. That's about it. Like, we're reaching the end of my knowledge set. I mean, yes, if you show me code from F sharp, I might be able to differentiate things and kind of pick out what's happening. But as far as writing it from scratch, that's what I want to get better at. That's where, like, the book comes in and then just slowly working through without AI and then kind of building out as much as I can and then start leaning on examples and then some other assistance along the way. So, yeah. .NET Core, C# .NET. No. Artur, Art, be honest. Tell me about namespaces. Come on now. There's going to be like some static void bullshit going on. You and I both know it. Not the same. But yeah, functional programming is fun. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, the other thing about functional programming is all the variables are immutable by default. So it kind of takes a little bit of a page from Rust in that book. I believe that, correct me if I'm wrong here too. Again, I'm a complete noob. And the immutable stuff is I actually don't mind, and it's pretty easy to wrap your brain around. Yeah. Without top-level statements, you could write similar code to what you write. Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of funny. Have you tried roadmap.sh? I have not. What is that? Developer roadmaps. Sounds like something fun. God bless. This is running like a turd. What is happening? Huh. Maybe the site's just slow. I don't know. Let's stop, refresh. It might be loading my other tabs. F-sharp's inspired by OCaml. I do know that F-sharp just got a team, like the dedicated team from the community. I think they're working out of Prague or something. So they have seen some adoption, but also F-sharp almost serves as a testing ground for C-sharp. So I think both are underpinned by Microsoft funding. Not I understand that's not a pro. That's definitely a negative, but a lot of people that use F-sharp are also very competent in C-sharp because there's so much overlap between C-sharp and F-sharp that you could easily, like a C-sharp developer could pick up F-sharp and just kind of understand, oh, okay, there's these couple new rules with the functional side of things, but then they could just be off and running. Like their spin up time would be almost nothing. Couple hours, maybe a week. And then you'd be coding with a level of competence that you already have in C-sharp. So very parallel skill dynamic where, like, if you're already really good at C-sharp, shit, pick up F-sharp. You'll like it. What is happening? Roadmap.sh. Let's try it again. Dude, roadmap.sh is broken. Ah, get out of here. Gross. Okay. Maybe my ad blocker is causing problems. I don't like taking this off, but no, it's just broken. Okay. Oh. Can I pull up other stuff? Let's go. Well, I got Google. Google's not a good test. Let's go ESPN.com. Okay, that's fine. Let's go Micro Center. Sure. I feel like I got some shenanigans going on. What is happening here? We got some slowness of the browser. Just Chrome things, you think? You block Origin? What could be causing that? Resolve DNS translations. Oh, you know what? I think I do have some extra blocks. I bet it's something in my Ubiquity. I'll look at it later. Yeah, it's always DNS. That's the answer to everything, right? It's DNS. It's always DNS, right? But where? Which DNS? It could be on the gateway where I do some filtering because, you know, I don't want my kids looking up shady websites. And then could be local. Maybe my resolve conf is borked. Maybe I need to put in custom DNS servers to serve. Oh man, it's just everything. It's kind of funny, yeah. Like I cut my teeth. I know some links people get mad at me whenever I like cover Microsoft products or Windows and stuff. But what they don't know is like that's what I made my whole career off of, man. I've always been the Windows Server guy and the scripts guy. Like I've always been able to really automate shit, anything. Like people come to me like, "Hey Titus, we need to automate this and just have it done automatically." I'm like, "Cool, I got you." So I've always been the automation guy and then also the Windows Server guy. So want to talk to me about Active Directory maintenance, changing like FSMO roles when you put in like a new primary domain controller, I'm your guy. Well, I used to be your guy. I'm not doing that shit anymore, so don't contact me about that stuff. I'm serious. That part of my life is dead. Should never return. Absolute horror. Just awful. Net DOM failing, and then all of a sudden you can't replicate across domain controller. Just so many bad things. There's better ways. But I can't complain. I did make an entire career out of it, so I'm happy. My question, should I go back to Debian stable and KDE bare bones packed? My PC's from 2014. Yeah. I think KDE bare bones and get Debian stable, you can't really go wrong with that, Chingy. I think it's solid. I don't think you can ever go wrong. I think that's great. Did I miss something from you now? Oh. What is happening? Oh, no. Call at 2 a.m. with questions. Well, typically, if they're calling me at 2 a.m., I'm probably already up. Yeah, last night I didn't get crap for sleep, man. I got 4 hours. It was rough. Let's see. My sleep score was 54. I don't know. Can you see that? Can you read it? No, you can't read that. Let's see. No, that way. And back. And nope. All right. Well, never mind. You don't get to see. But 4 hours, 4 minutes. I was like, crap. So I'll just take a nap. It'll be fine. Oh, still updating Neovim. I don't know. I think we're good, right? I think we got it. Yeah, so we're all updated over here. Let's check health. I don't think we had any problems. Let's see, any warnings or anything we need to look out for? Lua version 5.1 needed, but 5.4 is installed. I wonder why it's calling for 5.1. Must be a Lua Rocks dependency or something. Not a big deal. I don't really care. Ruby. I watched part of that DHH interview and I'm like, man, he's so energetic. It makes me want to try Ruby. But then I remember Ruby's probably not the good solution for almost everything. But I don't know. After trying F#, I was like, hey, I really like F#. Anywho, yeah. Tree setter executable not found. Tree setter. That's weird. Should have it, but anyhow. That all looks good. Don't see any issues there. Clipboard, Node.js. Oh, Perl. Oh my god. Oh, Python. No, we probably want to get some Python going. So maybe, I think. Could you do like a pipx import Neovim? No, I think you got to do like Python. I think a Python 3. I don't think we can import directly from there. I think I just set like env or something like that. I can't remember setting a Python 3 environment and importing a Neovim. I'm not good enough. Not good enough. I did it once or twice, but I never really documented how the hell I did it. Yeah, I'll tackle it another time. And then just some overlapping key maps. Probably should go through and clean those up. But other than that, I think it all looks good. Pac-Man, Python, Pi, Invim? Is it that easy, AH? Really? Really? Oh. Oh, I had caps lock on. Ah. All right. That's it, huh? Is that enough? We still got to do the import, don't we? Or does that automatically do the import? Oh, shit. Yeah, no, there it is. Cool. Yeah. DHH's Omar key. Yeah, I think we were gonna try that OSD. I think we'll try it tomorrow, actually. When writing in Neovim, do you want to show images? If so, I can add it.
Yeah, well,
Don't I need to do like
to do the
a
binds.
ghosty type thing? ABS, thank you for the gifted subs, man. Much appreciated. But yes, no, I think that would be good. Yeah, you gotta have Ghosty or Kitty for the console. The problem I was having with Ghosty actually seemed to work better in Mac comparative to Windows. But I think you can see it when we go check health. You'll notice, yeah. I don't know. That seemed pretty quick with Ghosty. Do we split? Huh. So, yeah, that seems okay. Maybe we rebind, let's rebind this. So, I think the big thing here, let's make this a little more succinct. Auto start. Since we're managed with UWSM, that's no longer needed. Let's go look and feel. I kind of hate this bloating up all of it. Let's go. Input. So I think we will do delete that, right? Now I want to source this. It's just source in here, right? Jeez, I should have looked this up before doing this. Oh, stupid animations. Ugh. Gross. I think when I was complaining about that on Mac, people were like, oh my god, Titus, you do realize like Gnome and KDE all have animations by default. I'm like, yeah, I know. I was nitpicking. I was just nitpicking. Yeah, Ruby on Rails is super quick. Ruby on Rails is run by Shopify. I was unfamiliar with that. I was kind of blown away that Shopify uses Ruby on Rails. I didn't think it was fast enough to handle Shopify. Source equal. Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you have to get the full path name? I thought it was just relevant paths. Let's get the look and feel. Let's write this to Miscellaneous? No, let's, what should we call this? Look and feel. Let's do lookandfeel.com. That's so bad. So bad. Whatever. Okay, source. I feel like it should be home.com hyper look and feel. Ah. Yeah, just to kind of get it out of the way so it's a little bit better. Style. Yeah, style would be better. Thank you. I was like, that seems wrong. Okay, that should be better, right? Globbing found error. Okay. We got a glob error. Let's fix the glob. No. I guess we can't use home variable, huh? I thought you could. I just like to use home as a variable, though. Let's try and wrap it. Let's see what happens. Wrap it in a wrapper. Double bag it. Here we go. No, that doesn't work either. All right, whatever. So be it. All right.
Yeah, well.
What else you got?
The
Or
dude
thanks for the
binds.
sub, man. New sub. All right. Been a lot of new subs going on. Yeah, Titus. Strong suit's not naming, style, look and feel, general coding. Yeah, there's a lot to pick there when it comes to my weaknesses. I'm just here for entertainment. That's what I'm here for. That's the goal of these streams, to be entertaining. And I'm unabashedly as genuine as possible. So, you know, ideas to learn together. Or if we're being real, it's about you teaching me something. That's why I do it. I always learn something. Chat's like, yeah, you probably should look at this. And then I'm like, nah, I don't need to look at that. And then chat's like, no, you really need to look at this. I'm like, no, I think I got it. And then chat's like, no, we're all spamming this now. And I'm like, okay, fine. Oh, yeah, you guys are right. And that's generally how that works. Not as bad as mine. Oh, God, let's see. You got dot files. I want to see the dot files. Backbone, brains, nerves, skin. Well, Hugh, I will say this. You got pizzazz or style or swag with that kind of naming, I gotta say. That's funny. I like it. What's in nerves? It's a little bit crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty wild. But if it works, you know, that's the thing. You know, I might critique people or whatnot on some setups, but I'm just like, hey, if it works, it works, you know? Yeah, that's proper atomic naming conventions. And there's a theme. What was the theme? I didn't even see. Did you actually have... Oh, yeah. Let's look. I like that. Going pretty hard with the bevel here, but that's okay. Like the rounding. Simplistic workspace up here on the top left. Is that probably like some kind of like music change graphic thingy majigger. The eyeball, maybe dark light mode? Or is that the moon? I don't know. Hard to say. Oh, bro. This, I gotta critique you for a second here. I gotta show you something that just immediately jumps out at me. I like to nitpick. That's a binary clock. Very extended. Wow. That's what that is? I'll take your word for it. But what I can't stand for is this. What is going on next to your little pancake stack here with the 31%? Oh my God. It's like, I gotta go take that's just bothering me. It is like a good 5 pixels off from the rest of these in the line. And that 99% looks a little bit low as well. So there's something going on with your padding. I hate to point it out, but now you're going to spend the rest of the day configuring, and I'm sorry for that. The life of a Linux user, it's never done. Oh, I love it. All right, cool. Well, I really kind of like how we've broken that up. I like having all this, like the main config and hyperland.config. The style, just having that in its own separate file. There's so much crap that goes into style that I just kind of want monitor, programs, auto start, key bindings, and then rules. I like having it all in one because I really don't have that many rules and that much configuration. The only thing I really wanted to split out was the style, the stylings. Let's upload this, by the way. Wow. Well, that's weird. Let's open this up. What do we have? GitHub. Did I not? There it is, Hyperland Titus. Yeah, let's update that. Also, why don't we do this? Just in case we have something in the future. Let's remove hyper. And then let's do a symbolic link. Oh, man. All right, let's do a symbolic link. GitHub. And we're going to put this in home Titus config. Hyper. No such file or directory. What? Fine. What? Oh! My bad. That's on me. Oh, oops. I think it's still fine. I had the / in there, right? We did. All right, great. So if we go into hyper, boom, now we have our config. Git, let's do a gcom update style. Update config. We are behind. Oops, my bad. What's it pulling down? Dang it. It's not going to integrate. Let's try to merge it, but this is going to merge terribly. Yeah, conflict. Boo. Stash, then pull, then unstash. Okay. Hyperland needs merge. Oh. Oh, gosh. Yeah, whatever. You see nothing. Unmerged. Wait, that didn't force push over it? What did I just break? I mean, get force push main. That's kind of my MO here. However, what the hell? Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that. On my laptop, I had some other stuff. What else do we have? Was that it? Okay. That wasn't so bad. It was just like one little merge problem. All right, we're good. Yeah, we're fine. Working clean. Hey, perfect. Okay. Oh, yeah. Going well, man. The gym journey has been fantastic. I'm healthier than I ever have been. I max benched the other day for the first time in like forever. So I got 225 on that. I'm pretty happy with. My max deadlift was about three rolls with like 10 pounds on them. So that was, I think 325, something like that. And then my max clean was 185, which I was really happy with. Because it's all a power clean. I'm not really good with squat cleans or anything like that yet. My snatch kind of sucks. It's like 135 because, again, not great. But doing well. I'm really, really enjoying it. The sport gym journey is going well. Feel very healthy. And I've been doing more yard work, too. It's great for moving. Oh, God, yes. And then we did, I gave blood last Friday. So for those that were in stream, yeah, that was wild. Don't do push-ups after giving blood. I got really lightheaded after that. I was like, oh, damn, that's not a good idea. When they say don't lift anything heavy after you give blood, you shouldn't lift anything heavy. You shouldn't go work out at all. Just take a pass for that day, probably the next day, too. I thought it was kind of funny. Yeah, it's hot. It's already well, it's only 93 today. So we're not even 100 degrees. I don't think. Let's see. It gets up to 99. So I'll probably work out here in a couple hours. It'll probably get up around. It's close, but not quite 100. So it's actually a little bit cooler than it normally is this time of year. And they say don't lift anything heavy, that includes yourself. The more you know. I definitely got that now. Yeah. Is drinking. Cheap evening. Very cheap drunk, that's sure. Do you still make videos on your training process? No, I pretty much just deleted like most of the fitness stuff because it was just kind of taken away from the rest of things. And I was just like, it's too much work. But yeah, no, I've been good. Maybe I'll do like some massive like 5-year update video or something whenever I feel like I'm at the best level I can get to. But there's still a lot I need to do and improve upon, like double unders when it comes to jump rope. I'm like the most uncoordinated guy you'll ever meet, so I have problems with those still. Chaining muscle ups together, handstand walks, or some skill work that I'm kind of working on, and I kind of want to nail all those things. Once I nail all those things, I feel like I'd be in really, really great shape, and I'm in pretty good shape now, but I think those would be like kind of what I like look forward to accomplishing. Or I can do some double unders today. It's just not, I can't string more than probably 4 or 5 together on a good day. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, all right, guys. I think I'm going to shut it down for today. This was a fun trip. We kind of pimped out Neovim a little bit. Kind of got back into Hyperland. I really enjoy the Hyperland. I got to say, I do miss the Linux experience, and I really want to get more into just coding directly in Neovim. So I'm going to work on that, maybe do some more research. Next stream, though, I think what we'll do, and let me know in chat whether or not you want to do this or not. I really want to try out DHH's config. Because it looks like a no-nonsense. I don't know if you guys are hearing that, but I feel like we might have some audio issues. DHH sounds normal to me. What happened there? Okay, playback here. What? Oh, wait. So, if it's playing in 46... Let's see. Let me go. Let's go here. 1 second. I got an idea. I'm gonna fix this live on stream. What I think's happening is we have a different, like an oversampling happening, or the output of the recording and the mic in. Did all this get reset? Dude. Oh, I think it did. Wait, no, that's 44. Art microphone. Dude, I haven't had an art microphone in forever. What the hell? What? Alright, we're gonna have to play it so then I know exactly what input we're coming in on. 1 second. So sorry, you're gonna have to listen to DHH as a chipmunk for a little bit.
Setup of Ubuntu and GNOME. But what I found in Hyperland is quite remarkable. It is an unbelievably smooth experience to use a computer. I've heard about tiling window managers in the past. I've even tried a couple of them, but really, until trying Hyperland, I didn't realize that it would click for me in the way it has. Hyperland is not just gorgeous and all
and its setup, it is also a complete delight to use.
Yeah, a little
The one
better.
thing about Hyperland, though, is it comes as a million different pieces and config files that you have to
All right,
carefully
there we go. I
figure
fixed
out
it.
how to work together and how to set it all
My
up.
bad.
And
All right.
that's what I've spent
Cool.
an ungodly.
Don't sample DHH in 96 kilohertz. Pro tip. Unless you really like that. Now, you can make him sound. You want to see DHH with a deep sound? Oh, God, here we go.
The amount of time actually doing. So now that I have finished my own
second.
setup
I'm gonna
that
have too
I
much fun
use
with
on a
this.
daily basis at this point to do everything that I do on development and whatnot, I thought I'd share it just like I did with Omakub. So Omachi is that
Omachi.
compilation of my aesthetics, my preferences, and my default applications as I run my computer on either a framework laptop.
All right, here we go.
or
Let's
a
see. Where's
desktop.
mine? But
Omachi is also not for everyone. Hyperland and Arch is a little bit more, I don't even know if I want to say advanced, but it can certainly be slightly more nerdy. There's a lot of configuration.
Here we go,
setup
deep
that happens in
HH.
config
Let's
files
undersample him
spread
now.
out over the system where you might use to just having a GUI to set things up. So if you're new to Linux, I would recommend that you check out Omakub. It's still a wonderful
yeah.
solution. I've used it for
Deep
over a year. It's
DHH
really
now.
great. It's easy
Or
to get going
undersampling.
with. But if you are ready for a little more, if you're curious about tiling window managers, Umachi is a great way to experience all that Hyperland and Arch has to offer. Let's get going. So let's dive into Umachi. And by
Manly
diving into Umachi,
DHH.
it's really diving into Hyperland because Hyperland is the heart of Umachi here. And it's an amazing tiling
he might
window
actually sound
manager.
better
And as you can see here, there are no icons. There's no dock. There's nothing to click on. You drive everything through the keyboard. So the
You do
first
have the
thing you
occasional
do is
pops
hit
from the
Super
undersampling.
B, that starts a new browser.
I could thin that
and then
out,
I can
though.
hit Super Enter, and I get a new terminal right next to it. And that's really how you start applications. We can start one more here. If I hit app or Super T, I'm going to start BTOP down below. If I hit Super W,
That sounds actually pretty
close
good.
it again.
All right, we're
If
going to
I
go back
hit
to normal
Super
DHH.
Shift arrow, I can swap the positions of these. And if I hit Super J, I change it from
I love it.
horizontal to
love it to
vertical
death. All right, that's good.
alignment here. If I bring this top back, you can also see that I can pop
All right, that's
windows from one workspace, we're on workspace number 1 here, to another workspace,
Let's, I wanted to just go full screen.
and it'll retile
Just to take a
that
look at the
workspace.
actual.
So if I hit
I don't like the
Super Shift
gaps.
2, boom,
But
it jumped over on workspace 2
animations,
where I
eh.
already had another terminal, and I can jump right back,
I
Super
don't want to
Shift
see. I think he's using
1,
Waybar, though.
and I'll go back to workspace
Kind of a deal
number
breaker
1.
for me.
I'll close this back down again. I can close this one. And as you can see, you're not resizing anything.
Let's see. We look at his config. What is he using? Just go to config. I bet we could just pull his dots. All right, so yeah, the dots here should give us more than enough information. Waybar, Walker. That's interesting. Sway OSD. So for notification service, it looks like he's using Sway OSD. I think I'm using Dunst instead. Lazy Git. I don't think I've ever used Lazy Git. So I'd kind of be interested in that. What's Walker though? And then as external app, PP, I don't know what that does. It looks like he's just doing it for dark mode. I'm just kind of interested in what he's using for. I'm just looking at the config to see what in the hell this thing does. It looks like it's some kind of bookmark. With some like built-in hotkeys or something. Huh, okay. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever use that. I just don't like Waybar. I don't know why I have this irrational hate for Waybar, but yeah. It should be straightforward. Let's try it. I sent a Neovim for PR. Let's go. Walker is pretty damn good. Okay, I'm gonna have to check out Walker. So I think tomorrow we're gonna do Walker. Let's add that. And then let's look at Neovim real fast. Do I not have mine? Oh, there we go. Let's look at your PR. Images, use Ghosty and install the packages and check health. Oh, how am I not? It must have signed me out. 1 second. Uno momento. Let me get this. GitHub. All right. Now, let's look at this PR. So, under plugins, Snacks, Lua. It's close. Probably just add this to my init. Snacks. I want to look at this real fast. Collection of quality of life plugins for Neovim. Oh, so this is like a roll-up of quality of life Neovim ones. You got Animate, Big File, beautiful declarative dashboards. I use, I think, Alpha right now for Alpha InVim for my dashboard. Debug, dim, explore, file explorer, picker and disguise. Get utilities, image viewer. That's the one we need. Indent, guides and scopes, input, window layouts, lazy git. Notifier, notify, picker, profiler, quick file, rename, scope, scratch, smooth scrolling. I didn't know you could do smooth scrolling in InVim. That's interesting. Create a toggle float, split terminals, utility function for snacks, Win, words, and Zen. I probably will just I don't really use Zen coding, but I'll probably just delete whatever one I have in there and just use the one from snacks. So you have to enable each one that you want to use. So you can just go snacks, options, and then just pick the ones you want. The one you picked from snacks, if we look at the Git, it's just image. It's kind of cool there's those other options though. Yeah. Everything's disabled by default. So what I would probably do here, just take snacks like this, pull it in. So let's go Neovim. Cool. Let's pull that and let's go in it. We're gonna go to here, and after this, there's that. Bam. Type. looks like undefined type or alias for snap config. Now, I'm not sure what that is right there. Did we get artifacting on this when I pulled it in? It seems like we did. No, dash 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 type. It's 3 dashes. Oh, it's lazy dev. Oh, okay. Well, let's give it a whirl. All right, so then let's try Invim. Let's try lazy, see if it grabs anything. I don't see anything. Did it grab snacks? I don't see snacks, and I don't see image. Did we miss brackets? Let's see. Yeah, we need the brackets. My bad. My bad. All right, there we go. Now, let's save that. Come back to Invim. Let's go lazy. Still don't see image. What about snacks? No, snacks is not there. Should be. Yeah, so custom plugins in it. This is where the rest of my plugins get pulled in. So if I pull in a plugin with a custom config, I like it to be here. So then I can just look at all of it at one go. So I think it's something with this dash dash type thing. I don't think I use like maybe a dependency of this. Lazy falls? I think that should probably be true because I do use lazy. Take it easy, bingo. So what is it then, Mr. All Caps Phoenix? What's the problem? I think it's lazy falls. I think it should be true. So then, let's do lazy. Now, snacks, snack, image. No? Snacks ain't in lazy invim. Shouldn't it just import it? Well, I guess when all else fails, you can always read the documentation. All right, let's see. Usage. Configure snacks invim. Maybe it's defined elsewhere. Maybe we're already using it. Let's check the init. We are using a kickstart. I think it's Tiege's kickstart. So that might be it. Let's go init snack image. Huh, yeah, no. There's nothing there. And if you look at the other init, just don't see anything. Huh. Oh yeah, for sure. Like, it's definitely working because this is alpha, and if we go back into the plugins and you go alpha, this is alpha dashboard. So this is where it's pulling alpha from, along with many other things like my theming, everything. Remove alpha invim and see if it gets removed. I got a better one. How about we do this? Let's get rid of it. And what we'll do, let's say you have this, right? We're pulling it into Kickstart Lua custom snacks. Let's just approve. Pull it in. Merge it. Let's just do it direct. I don't think it'll pull this because it's not referenced anywhere. But if we go here, or plug in, where are you at, plug in? LSP plugins, but probably towards the end actually. Let's just go to the end of the file. Let's go to the end. I want to say plugins was towards the end. Yeah, custom.plugins. Uncomment, load the following and add plugins from any of the Lua. So yeah, it'll pull in the entire folder. Great. So when we pull this in, are we still at 38? Yep, 37, okay. What about messing? We have Lua, shift format, and style. Okay. Remove a plugin, see if it gets removed. Okay. Maybe it's a caching thing. Just Neovim things, it seems like. Let's remove. We can remove alpha. I think. No, I wanted to comment it out. Damn it, I can't remember the hotkey for comment. Damn it. God, there's such a faster way to do this. I'm sorry. I can't remember what I used to comment this. Anywho, whatever. I have a comment in Vim plugin, and I can't remember what the hotkey was for it. In Vim things, you got to remember your hotkeys. Anywho, does not look like it did that. Let's do a lazy. Let's do a clean sync, maybe. What's going on here? Update. So it's not removing that. Okay. I got an idea. Okay, so first, let's go. 1 second. We'll do that here in a second. Phoenix, give me a second. We're gonna go Neovim. We're just gonna discard these changes. All right, and then we're gonna come to Z Invim. How weird. That's just delete the whole thing. We'll just reinstall real fast just to make sure. All right, fine. Snacks is there. Okay. Strange. So I guess I did some kind of weird linking and I never deleted the old links and then it just never was able to overwrite it. How odd. Tools. I'm just looking for errors. Snacks. Lazy Git is not installed. So we need to install Lazy Git. Snacks image. It needs Tectonic. And PDF latex. And also MMDC for mermaid diagrams. Okay, so we can just go lazy. Install, and can we just go? Actually, let's go Mason. Tectonic. Tech? No. Oh, I gotta Pac-Man it. Oh, these are actual full-blown packages I'm missing. Durr. Oh, well. Oh. Okay. And MMDC. Well. PDF latex. I don't see PDF latex anywhere. What about MMDC? Nah, it's nowhere. Paru, yay, same shit. One's Go, one's Rust. They do the same thing. Yeah. What do we have for latex? Let's just go latex. PDF latex. Probably latex PDF pages may work. Yeah. But what it wants is PDF latex. Yeah, I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, these packages are not there. First package was there. I was like, oh, this will be easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, how naive I was. All right. I just don't think that finds it. Closest thing I have is Text Live announcer, but it's Text Live? Okay. So let's go Text Live. Latex. Actually, we could just install all of them, huh? Nah, screw it. Just install them all. It's only a gig. Good night. Actually, it's 2.7 gigs when we get down to it. Wow. Let's not install them all. Install all? That's a lot of latex, man. That is a lot. I don't think I want to do that. Let's just do Text Live latex. I don't see anything that specifies PDF other than that. So I think let's go with the 100 meg install, not the 2.7 gig install. That seems excessive. Now, as far as mermaid diagrams, MMDC, what did we find out about that? Oh, 1 second. I don't think we had anything there. Mermaid CLI? That tracks. Nice. Nothing from the AUR. Just like I like it. Perfect. So now we have those. What about LazyGit? Simple terminal UI for Git commands. I've never used LazyGit. Has anybody used LazyGit? Now, I have I have an alias, Lazy G. It's like my GUI forget. I might mess with it a little bit. All right, let's quit this. Let's relaunch. Now let's go check health. Why didn't everyone use Neovim? It's so easy. Snacks notifier is not ready, but setup is default, so it's fine. Setup for input is should be fine. All right. Missing some tree sitter languages. So like tree sitter svelte. It's kind of fun to say, svelte. CSS, whatever. It's fine. So I think this is fine. Now let's look at actually, can we just go over? Let's try and browse and find a file with an image. This could get a little dicey. No, actually. Doesn't show anything. Tree setter stuff, you can just go TS install. Okay. Oh, I thought we are Ghosty. We are in Ghosty. This is Ghosty. Yeah, we're in Ghosty. So let's just relaunch. Okay, this is Alacrity. I'm just gonna start over again. Maybe because I just installed those, it didn't show. So let's go files. Let's go pictures. Oh, shit. It's a good idea. It's because of telescope in Vim. I like telescope. What do you use instead of telescope? Wait, so if you're not using telescope, what the hell are you using? I want to know. Yeah, I got telescope all up and down in here. Ah. Does Snacks have something? So Explorer is probably what it uses. Telescope has a preview cutoff variable. I mean, there's a lot of things I can consolidate some of my plugins into the Snacks plugin here. The problem I might have with Snacks is it hasn't been updated in 5 months. Maybe that's not a problem. But if we look at Explorer, what's this do? Oh, that does look a lot better. All right, so let's for tomorrow's stream, let's start off with, God bless, more Neovim configuration. I think we integrate more of Snacks. Switch out Telescope for Explorer, which is going to break a shit ton of plugins that I have. And then migrate over to Snacks. Get Explorer in, maybe some more other things. I think it'll be fine. Probably Picker as well. Open up a markdown file and use markdown syntax for looking at an image. Oh, okay. You said that'll work even with this. So instead of that, okay, let's go to a website. Let's in Vim. What do we have? What was the last one I did? AI something? Did I have any? I didn't have any. What do we have? Let's look for something. Surely I have something with an image in my... Okay, here we go. Boom. Ah, okay, here we go. Now I see what you're saying. Open up a markdown file with images and you can actually see the images. It just pulls them in. I really, really like that. I will use that a lot more because right now I'm not putting enough images in my articles because it's kind of a pain in the ass, or I just don't feel like messing with it. So, yeah. That's really clutch. That's cool. All right. I can relate to that. All right. Yeah. That is very, very good. I just imagine Phoenix behind his keyboard. Open up a markdown file. Just a markdown file with images. Just open it. God, you'll see it. It's there. It's installed. Okay. That's totally what I see you doing behind the keyboard. I love it. So we got to explore. Teach me HTML. Hey now, I cut my teeth in HTML probably before a lot of people actually have been born here. So 1995, I think I wrote my first website in HTML. Oh my god. Late 90s was like all Macromedia Flash though. I was huge into Macromedia Flash websites, man. They were so cool. Probably so exploitable too, but you know, that's just Flash. Always has been. But man, you can make some, even back then, it was some really cool websites. Yeah, so I was using Flash before Adobe acquired it. So Adobe took Flash and just kind of ran it into the ground. Flash, when Macromedia had it, and I think Macromedia also had Dreamweaver. If you guys remember Dreamweaver as well, it was a fantastic, I mean, especially for the day, it was a hell of a lot better than, I think it was Front Page Microsoft had, which was awful. So Macromedia Dreamweaver, Macromedia Flash, oh, so great. And then, as with everything, when it comes to companies, the big dogs come in and just ruin it. Yeah. Yeah, Front Page was always garbage. It deserves to be in the trash bin of history. But Dreamweaver, man, they kind of did it dirty. Faded into irrelevance. All right. We're just going to say snacks for next one. I can't remember what I was going to do. I think that means it's quitting time. Snacks. Let's not abuse app images and nuke my install like I did that one day. Push the changes and I'll make the PR. Okay, let's do that. I think I'm working clean, actually. Yeah, I'm working off a clean tree. The snacks that you send in, Phoenix, can be completely separated out, and then we're working clean right now. Everything is up to date. So I just took your PR direct and it auto loaded that snacks.envim or snacks, whatever, Lua. So you're good to go. So we won't get any merge conflicts or any business. I'm done. I'm gonna go take a nap probably and then go work out a little bit, maybe hit the yard. I still gotta rake some leaves and other shenanigans. Oh, and Mac OS virtualization. Thank you, Dan. Mac OS virtualization. So let's work on Snacks, Mac OS virtualization, and look at Walker. Figure out what the hell DHH is doing with Walker. Someone in chat also said that they use it, and it's pretty cool. So I think we'll do that. I also need to fix... let's notate this. Fix... Right now, my image clipping is set up for DWM using Xorg. So that uses Xclip, but I need the image clip plugin, which we might actually just switch that plugin completely to insert markdown images. And Phoenix, if you're still here, that's what I need to do, is make it to where I can copy something to clipboard, hit one hotkey inside of Neovim. It will create a WebP image, drop it into the corresponding directory according to the file name in here, and then Bob's your mother's brother. Done. And then the image just miraculously appears, ready to go. That'd be great. We'll fix that up probably sometime. I don't know if we'll get to that, but those are the three I'm thinking of. My brain power is shot, so I think we're gonna drop everybody off. As far as YouTube goes, we're gonna see you guys later, and then we'll